Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for the descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Girl, I am so tired of Twitter and TikTok. We need something just for us.
Yeah, and I would post on 60, but they don't have a mobile app.
That's a lie. 60 actually.
Oh.
All right, all right, all right. We are here once again at the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. And this is the midweek report. Hopefully everybody is doing well thus far this week. As for myself, I'm feeling better than I was last week. That's for sure. What's funny? I seen a story earlier today. They were talking about this mysterious illness that isn't any of the typical illnesses that everybody seems to be catching. It's like, oh, okay. So that's one of those possible byproducts of maybe people shedding certain things. So they say, But anyway, like and share as you are coming on in. Like and share if you could. That would be great. That is a great way to send to the algorithm of YouTube, especially for channels like mine, that, you want to see this type of content. And if y'all know what y'all was hearing this live last Friday and y'all see what they chopped it down to, they cut quite a bit. And they're talking about their stuff. It's like, no, you cut mostly me. But nonetheless, we're here. Let me see what we got in the chat before we go any further. Let's see. I see Capricornus. Tori and Rain reloaded in the house. Black First, what's going on, my brother? Lady Effa. Judah Queen in the house. Iron Malt in the house. What's going on, brother? Project Leroy in the house. What is going on? Black First, salute. And by the way, if y'all have not already went and subscribed to our brother Tori and Rain Reloaded, you definitely should do that. And let's talk about the first few things that we got to get to, because that's the news. The first thing is, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, has taken a job at Colorado University. I think it's Colorado State. And he left Jackson State. And some people had some issues with it. I think anybody in their right mind wouldn't, especially after once you get all of the kind of the brass tacks and the facts of his situation while even being at Jackson State. Like, that brother was doing yard maintenance, landscaping around that joint. And on top of that, getting his stuff stolen. So I also saw a press conference clip from him getting his, talking about how they won, but, they went and took all the stuff. So, that's no good, family. So shout out to that brother, but I don't understand why anybody would be hating on that. That's what the business of coaching is. He's in the business of coaching. Let's see. Brooklyn Queen 125, welcome. Black Pint, welcome. Black First. So, one of the things that people get caught up on when you're dealing with us is anytime you have a black person that you believe is in a position of prominence or just has some kind of draw, then that person automatically gets elected to be everything. And that's not going to be any, because, if he's on a team. So how would that look for everything to be on one player? Yeah. So he had to fetch his own, clean water, man. Not to mention, and with the family, the Foundational Black American Family that went down there, donating water at Jackson, and I believe they went to the school and donated some of that water there too, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, just put that in consideration. This brother was doing a lot and still got Jackson State on national TV. That's a HBCU on national TV. That's quite a feat. and also brought you some titles. So I think 2. So I don't know what you can really complain about, but it is what it is. You know, and that's one of the things that we have to stop doing. And now here's another thing. The other thing about that, the people who are now like, because I know some of y'all might have seen the little clip. Let me see. Is this like a 5-second clip? Let me see. Where he is the Colorado, I don't know what he is at the school, but clearly he's one of the money men. And they ask him a question about where they're going to get the money, which I guess is a good question. But I mean, look at where he's going to be coaching. You know, they can go get it. That's what y'all don't understand. But check this out.
I know we'll have it, so I'm not worried about that piece.
Yeah, he ain't worried. He ain't worried at all. Oh, yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, we got this. And I'm sure they do. They probably already have money lined up for this. It's an NFL player going to a college that is as bad as they are still on TV. And all the stuff, like from what I was hearing people say about like what Deion should be doing, man, he should stay. And he's digging in his own bag to make this thing work. With all of this, man, please. Now, y'all understand some of these schools are church affiliated. Now, you done had the situation where all these preachers done had their pensions robbed of like $90 million. And then you had Morris Brown back in the day. I think they finally got their accreditation back. Man, they lost their accreditation for a minute from all of them scandals going over there. So, I mean, man, please. Instead of, when grimy people get a chance to go get their hands in places, instead of maybe using that position to fulfill some things, they just sit up there and fulfill their own guilty pleasure. And so I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. You over there getting ready to retire, and boy, man, everybody looking around like, yeah, man, somebody done skipped town. And these are the preachers. Come on now. Not that I, just say, hey, I mean, what I'm saying is these is preachers. So the act of some kind of level of standard, and the truth shows. Yeah, money can change a lot. So, it was just too tempting. Let me go put my hand in this pot. Project Leroy said they go and get the money, man. One who cares, welcome. Yes, absolutely what they do. And they got people tied to that school who go get the money. So please. In other news, we have I don't know. Hey man. Now I understand the Republican situation might be looking a little murky over there, which is cool because we're not Republican, we are not Democrat. What I'm looking at is, excuse me, the best way of leveraging our vote if we do. So yay or nay, but understanding the most strategic option of getting our agenda on the table and furthered and tangible. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, what I'm talking about is your guy, Joe Biden. Yikes. Yeah, man. You know, it looks like both parties are in absolute disarray right now. And I'm hearing because of course we know Raphael Warnock won today. And people, yeah, Herschel Walker. Y'all spent $80 million to beat that dude. Cut it out. And it wasn't a runaway. Nonetheless, let's check out your president, who's, you know, I guess in his right mind, right?
And today, TSMC has announced a second major investment. It will construct a second fab here in Phoenix to build chips, 3 nano chips, the 3 nano chip. Chips that are 3 nano, and you know what I'm saying. Nano, no, I don't know.
All right. All right. And that's the president. No, he sounds like he's okay, right? Wait, what? Yeah, 3 nano, the nanobots. Now, on top of that, though, that again, what is he talking about now? Yeah, you see, that's the other part. Now, not only is he flaking and spacing, but again, what actually is he talking about? Catch that part.
And today, TSMC has announced a second major investment. It will construct a second fab here in Phoenix to build chips, 3 nano chips, the 3 nano chip. Chips that are 3 nano, and you know what I'm saying. Nano, no, I don't know.
I wonder if anything, see, well, I wonder if that ties into this next little part, because there was a clip that showed up on Twitter from the EU, one of the EU proceedings. You know, so, or actually, I believe this is a TikTok video. But nonetheless, check this little part out, because I wonder, and you know, hey, maybe I'm reaching too far into conspiracy land, just in my own thinking, but I don't know. Tell me what y'all think.
Which Ukraine will default on, and they come with neoliberal strings attached. If you listen to the economists, Ukraine is marked for a nightmare round of shock therapy, sell-off of public land, deregulation of labour, sale of public assets, on it goes. The country's future is being sold to finance a proxy war that's tearing it apart. And of course the loans have preconditions that Ukraine must uphold democracy and rule of law, but since the tap was turned on, Zelensky has banned most opposition parties, shuttered the media, attacked trade unions and workers' rights, but the billions keep flowing. This is a country our Court of Auditors have said was a country accused of grand corruption. And on it goes, while the EU policy seems designed to prevent peace and keep the war going at all costs as long as ordinary people pay. So between Russian tanks and European banks, there will be little left of Ukraine when this is over. Don't forget, war is a racket and there's going to be hell to pay for this one.
What y'all think about that? Because there was something that she said in the midst of her rant. Because you got to remember, as us, as a collective, we're on the outside of certain informational and certain circles of information. But I want you to catch something. Let me bring this back just a bit. Okay.
Regulation of labour, sale of public assets, on it goes. The country's future is being sold to finance a proxy war that's tearing it apart. And of course...
Yeah, what's that part about? Yeah, what's that part about? you do understand part of this issue with Ukraine and Russia is that they are saying that America is funded too under the guise of it being Ukraine's chemical warfare laboratories by their border. That's really what all this has actually been about in the first place. But now get to that part of proxy war. Well, if you guys are fighting each other based on proxy, well, what elements could we possibly tie to what we're currently seeing going on around us? And that definitely ties into what we are talking about tonight. Yeah, that proxy war, you know, how Nazis and anti-Semitism, and because, you know, there's a lot of Ukrainian certain religions, you know, and yeah, just can't help but notice that proxy war. So you're spending billions and billions and billions of dollars. Where is this money actually going? What is it going to? And we're saying, because think about this, we're not seeing real results of an actual war. We're funding somebody else's shit. Does anybody in their mind remember any time that America has spent this level of money for another country's conflict that they're not part of? This group is not even part of NATO. Well, it wasn't. So yeah, let's just go back to see when you have to start listening to what they say to each other. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to what's not being said.
Their loans, which Ukraine will default on, and they come with neoliberal strings attached. If you listen to the economists, Ukraine is marked for a nightmare round of shock therapy, a sell-off of public land, deregulation of labour, sale of public assets, on it goes. The country's future is being sold to finance a proxy war that's tearing it apart. And of course the loans have preconditions.
Now, with that proxy war, if their land is being decimated and basically redistributed from up under them, where are all those people going to go? Oh, I know. Sanctuary cities. Y'all catching this? I hope so. And, you know, yeah, that's what's going on.
That Ukraine must uphold democracy, rule of law. But since the tap was turned on, Zelensky has banned most opposition parties, shuttered the media, attacked trade unions and workers' rights. But the billions keep flowing. This is a country, our Court of Auditors have said, was a country accused of grand corruption. And on it goes while the EU policy seems designed to prevent peace and keep the war going at all costs as long as ordinary people pay. So between Russian tanks and European banks, there'll be little left of Ukraine when this is over. Don't forget, war is a racket and there's going to be hell to pay for this one.
Tori, you said they covered the crash on my line. Oh man, we've had the planes overhead since what, 2012. So you get used to it. Like anybody that called me, boy, you know, it's like whatever you said to me, the feds heard. Anybody know call me like, please. Nope. I'm never far out of sight. Hell. I mean, man, just think about it this way. Tariq Nasheed makes movies and he's known, but he's never said anything crazy. And they say, oh, yeah, you're just not finna come into the country. I mean, it's not, for them, it's not all about numbers. It's about that power of influence. So what can someone really get accomplished by being on the ground? And yeah, oh, no. Even if Tariq never spoke a word in public, just with him being able to mingle on the ground, they don't want no parts of that. That's the problem. Yeah, they coming, like, again, if we all kicking it together and we all chopping it up and they seeing everybody just building and whatnot, oh yeah, they got to break that up. Oh, no. Mm-mm. All this black building, what they over here planning? What they gonna do? Man, we got to do something. I mean, man, what you? Some of these Black Wall Streets just got burned down. Just a bunch of drunk, racist yokels lying to themselves and amongst themselves, convincing themselves of something that they all know ain't true, and then go rush into somebody else's town because they just want it. And then they got more sophisticated and said, hey, you know what? Instead of that, we'll just use the freeway. Man, these stadiums, man, we got to really build these stadiums. No, it's eminent domain. Man, hospitals, we really need hospitals. Let's just put it right here and smack dab in the historical Black neighborhood, eminent domain. Get you on that out of here. Been there, done that. And somebody yet will say, well, that's neither here nor there. I always say like this, just as much as we are we not still musical people today? They've always said we were musical people. Musical people. Well, ain't nothing about that. We are still musical people today, right? So that's something inherent. Well, also, what they say, hate isn't, you're not born with hate. Hate is a taught thing. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's see if we can stand by it.
You better not bite my dick. What's wrong with you? Go down the slide.
Now, notice what's happening. Here's a bit this little dum-dum is talking to this little brat kid that's over here being an honorary ass. Well, you shouldn't talk to a kid. Shit. Just gonna grow up to be a screaming Karen. Because, again, like I said, look at how young they are. They're on a playground. Where you think she learned that? Or was it just in her? Cyberdyne 100. And again, let me clarify. I ain't saying every white skin and Caucasian appearing is of that ilk, but all white supremacists are. Dead serious. What's going on, my brother? I believe that I believe so. So forgive me if I got that wrong. Some Russian guy was stating that FBA culture was messing there. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that part too. Matter of fact, Torium Rain Reloaded actually did a video on that on his channel earlier today. So he went way more in depth into it than I will be. But yeah, we're gonna hit on that a little touch as well. But yeah, like I said, do leopards change their spots? And that type of behavior, the parent. See, I'm just showing you the encouragement of the parent, ignoring the attitude of their child. Being right there. the other man got to step in. You better not bite my child. I mean, what was that about? I gotta control you. Oh, you can't teach that at that age. It's either in you or not. I'm just, showing you something here. No indictment on anyone. No, not at all. Now, let's see. Okay, real quick. Real quick. This anti-black gender war that had to take a pause, because trust me, one of the first reasons why I blocked a certain individual on Twitter the very first time I seen them, and I tweeted into the space. I said, "Yo, this person is here to make us look like we're transphobic. This person is with them people. Get this one up out of here." Because I was just listening for all the key words. This is an individual that is only sent here to be disruptive. They have no other agenda. Block them now. Everybody entertained this person for months. What a waste of energy and time. Going back, you ain't finna convince that person of nothing. They didn't come here to have any other dialogue with you other than just to be disruptive to you. And if they're disruptive to you, then you're not focused on what you're supposed to be focused on. That's why so many people spend so much doggone time talking to that person. It's like, damn, block them already. They ain't here for nothing. And anybody at this time, you got to keep it going with them, man. I don't know what for, other than entertainment value. If that's what's going on, cool. But let it be known that that's entertainment. Because see, people get out here and they get in these spaces and start being, hey, this space says FBA. Let me go on in here and let me put everything that I hear on Tariq Nasheed. That's crazy. Ain't nowhere around that room the first, but you harboring some kind of will toward the man from what some total stranger to that dude has said. Y'all got to sharpen up tighter than that. That's insane. That is really insane. But I get it. I mean, because social media is the place where the playing field for the winless, it becomes even. So I totally get it. Doesn't sustain longevity, but I get it. Many come and go. Reason being is because some of us have a craft. A lot of us take our crafts and they bring them to wherever they go. So see, I've been doing what I'm doing since I was 3 years old. So, and communication, for some who don't really understand, that is actually a craft. It's also a gift, but it's also a craft and it's a business. That's why you listen to radio. That's why you listen to announcers on TV. That's why they hire announcers on TV, because it is a business. With that being said, you got to understand that everything is a craft and you have to own whatever your lane is in it. So as for me, we do what we do here and we break down certain stuff and we point out opposition to the movement, just like I did with the Silverback. So with that being said, I'm telling you, most of y'all should have cut that one off a hell of a lot sooner, because this is what was coming down the pike. But, again, they had to focus on reparations because you couldn't push sexuality over reparations. So they're trying to figure out some kind of way to work this back in the mix. So here we go with the bullshit.
woman. Red flag. And my comment section? You get the idea. I can't put them all because there's too many. Let me break this down. Trans women are women. So if you're heterosexual and you're a man and you said you wouldn't date a trans woman because of preference, that's just transphobia, period. The majority of the time, our preferences are rooted in something problematic. It could be trauma, racism, transphobia, the list goes on. If you want to find out what your problematic preference, click the link in my bio and watch this video. I am now going to take you all through an example. This person asked why it's transphobic to not want to date a trans woman. Already starting off on the wrong foot by referring to cis women as regular women, then says something about trans women not being able to carry children. If that's your sole reason for dating someone, keep that same energy for all the women who are infertile.
Ma'am, not sure if you've known or not. So either you're also identifying as a trans, or you are out of the procreation pool. Because here's one thing about that. Yeah, most men would want to know if a woman can have children or not if they're looking to get married to her. Man, that'd be a very pertinent part of that. I mean, I'm just saying. So, it makes people see, here's the problem. And, damn, I have to say it. Unfortunately, we do not deal with mental health issues in our community enough. So some things become normalized to us. And dealing with the mentally ill as if they're normal is something that we have really got to break ourselves out of. Anybody talking like this is off. They're out of their mind. They're off. And we need to start getting back to common sense and just calling what it is, what it is. I mean, do you know to successfully complete a sex change, you have to admit to gender dysphoria? So no, all of that it's the dysphoria that got you to say, I am this. But you have to admit that you have it, even to so basically what I'm saying is you have to admit you believe something you're not. And you can't get your junk cut off until you admit that in writing. I mean, hell. Infertile women can still have surrogates. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, what are we talking about? Preference is simply that, preference. And she's trying to make preference into a social construct. No. That's absolutely the opposite of the definition of preference. Preference belongs to one person. So you cannot dictate what a person's preference is, but only an insane individual would push such a notion. So like I said, we have to start dealing with this mental illness in our community. One of the reasons is because most of these people engage in too much BS. And then call it nothing, call it light. It's like, no, it's all something. It all matters. It all matters. Believe it or not. You be acting, man, please. I don't see what one thing has to do with the other. Until you do. Damn, man, you was right. Any of y'all been through that one? Nah, I don't think so, man. Nah, I don't think so. Damn, you was right. I mean, yeah, I think that happens to everybody. Okay, so let me pull this up. Oh, okay. Okay, now, yeah, I remember what I need to do now. Okay. So these other stories, I don't have clips for. I actually just have the stories. Let me see. Okay. Oh, they changed that a bit. You know, the one what's the cat's name that anybody in the chat remember the dude's name? Oh, Michael Harriot. That's his name. Michael Harriot. He actually wrote a decent piece, I must say. Yeah, he actually wrote a decent piece. I'll give him that. Okay. All right. So let me get my. I don't know if I need my glasses for this. So yeah, it's the like y'all just mentioned about Putin's ally, Putin's governor dude, Shamkek or Shamkov or whatever. Let's see. Putin ally blames crisis of rise. Wait, where'd I go? My screen just changed. Oh, crisis on the rise on black U.S. music stars he calls descendants of African American slaves. Despite pushing this bizarre racist theory, a senior Russian lawmaker claims that the regional governor was being, quote, more than politically correct. You don't say. Huh. You really think so? Coming from a fella that looks like this, huh? What y'all think? I don't think so. Troy Lee, still Kevin Trees. I see y'all in the chat. Who else did I see in here? Cyber9 100. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Now, so with this cat, let's see. There we go. See what my man had to say. Let's see the sign of the respect. So okay. So yeah. In a sign of the times for Vladimir Putin's twisted Russian regime, a regional governor has been backed by the state Duma after saying the quote descendants of African American slaves are to blame for the country's growing crisis. Vadim Shumkov, governor of the Kurgan region, said Russian society was collapsing, exemplified by the rising rate of suicide and depression among young people, and it can all be traced back to the popularity of Black American stars in the music industry. All their problems just come from that's so much influence on entertainers. Now, this made me think about what Brother Malcolm X said, about entertainers. You don't see any other group looking at the entertainers to be their political figures or their thought leaders. All of a sudden now, in Russia, interesting. We all the way over here, and you still found a way to blame us. Blame Black men. It's them rappers over there, man. All that drill music. Man, these guys, they got these people going crazy over here. Okay. In a bizarre rant posted on his official Telegram channel, Shumkov described a gaping hole of emptiness at the center of Russian culture, which he argued was not the result of poverty, war, or rampant corruption, but, quote, an underestimation of the importance of native national culture, unquote. Quote, many of our children already growing up without knowing or remembering their kindred tribe. He lamented, claiming that they are instead singing songs written by the descendants of African American slaves, often playing the ape and imitating often playing the ape? Oh no. Oh, wait. Just so you know. What? Oh, wow. Okay, often playing the ape and imitating the habits and language. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Hey man, oh, wow. All right, imitating the language. So I guess, see, for those of y'all who didn't catch that reference when you're saying ape, of course you're thinking monkey. But see, that's another thing that term that white supremacists often use. They call it chimping out. So yeah, this is basically what that like often playing the ape. That means chimping out. So basically you are acting like a foundational Black American in their estimation. Like they know so many of us, I guess. My goodness. Brimming with, frankly, second rate quasi cultural vulgarity, clinging to this secondariness, being proud of it. Hence the growth of overt spiritual emptiness, depression, suicides, the lack of meaning in life, he wrote. Wait a minute. Hold on, brother. Now, hence the growth of overt spiritual emptiness? That doesn't come from our community. That doesn't come from our community at all. Matter of fact, we come from the community that is most made fun of about how folks act in the Black church. So what you talking about? Man, watch one of them Nollywood movies and see how they be portraying the Black church in them Nigerian movies. And then be coming over here like, oh yeah, I love you. We are brothers. I be over there just making straight fun of us over there. Don't kid yourself. Oh yeah, la a cat. Hey. Welcome. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. Oh, no, he said, this part is very important. Though Shumkoff did not mention Russia's war against Ukraine as a possible reason for the bleak mood in the country, he went on to hint at a growing rift between ordinary Russians that he blamed on outside forces, claiming that a neglect of native culture has led to a biblical Cain and Abel situation with brothers pitted against brothers by foreign well-wishers who see them as expendable. Well, the interesting part about that is we aren't in any of that. So how do you keep going back to like he's doing like the Clive and Bundy thing? Yeah, so what about the Black problem? What are we gonna do about these blacks? We're not even there, and we're in the conversation. This is Russia. Oh yeah, not to mention, Let me see. Where's that other story? Do I have that here? In Germany, I think I was on Twitter. In Germany, there was a situation where they had a bunch of right wing. They foiled another plot. They was about to pull a January 6th over in Germany, and it's one of these, because again, y'all understand that these people ain't just in America. These people are conversating across the globe. It is the global system of white supremacist terrorists, and these people are out there. All these people act like it ain't happening. Now you got those people even in the EU that will say, this proxy war, but all of you are complicit. So don't go up there trying to be high and mighty when you over here letting them spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on what, God, Lord knows what. You know what I mean? Let these people just come over here and tell us any old damn thing, because that's what they like to do. Let's see. And y'all saw that thing in Philly, right? With the with the brothers out there. And they like private security. Now somebody asked me, he's like, are they FBA? I don't know. Out there, because that's Philly. Out there in Pennsylvania, they got a lot of intermixing going on. So I mean, like everybody black food, everybody out there, don't they? Depending on what circles you run in. From what I know. No, man, that's my guess. Let me know. If I'm wrong, someone let me know. Let me see what y'all saying in this chat. Still Kevin Tree said, yeah, no racism in Mother Russia. Cyberdyne said, I bet he got a huge collection of FBA albums. Kid Gravity said, battle rap is to blame. That's like CB4. Like, come on, man. Black Pint said, if they were active in their children's lives, stuff wouldn't be happening. Like that's so funny. It's just like CB4. Gusto. Phantom Beat, what's going on? They can get their national pride back up. Just have the kids use Zangief more when they play Street Fighter. Oh, that's funny. Now that's funny. Let me get this other one. Okay, let me get that off the screen. I need to pull up Twitter. Okay. Also, real quick. Yeah, I need to show you this. This other story. Man, don't you ever let these folks come out here talking crazy about us, man. Now this story is very interesting. Get this in here. Get in there. Okay, there we go. So you see my man right here? Yeah, my man on the screen right there, right? Well, as it turns out, it looks like he's a descendant of a Holocaust survivor. So yeah, remember how the certain group got a hate crime law up in New York. Governor Hochul signed it, lickety split, no study, no nothing, no petitioning, no protest, no candlelight vigil, no, just signed it. And this is, still within the time of Peyton Gendrich, still hadn't even had his first court date. But, that was a foiled plan. Peyton Gendrich had a manifesto calling out, what he wanted to do and harm black folks. And nonetheless, the other group had a hate crime bill. Now, here's what's really odd. How do you get a hate crime bill based on a foiled plot from one of your own? See, they just ran the okie doke on black folks one more time. But man, we all this anti-Semitism. Man, please. That's cap. Ain't no anti-Semitism in the black community. That's all cap. And again, Kanye West ain't in our community like that. He's in y'all's. You see who he with? That ain't got nothing to do with us. Candace Owens ain't got nothing to do with us. And she just was around him just to get her a little bit of shine to push her little whack-ass documentary. Anyway, a grand jury indicted 2 men, one of whom is Jewish and a descendant of a Holocaust survivor in connection with the online threat last month to attack a synagogue in New York City. Last month. Man, that was fast. Christopher Brown and Matthew Maurer were both indicted on charges of conspiracy and weapons possession. Brown also was charged with the felony count of making terroristic threats as a hate crime and possession of a weapon as a crime of terrorism, among other charges. Maurer, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, who previously made bail, appeared on Wednesday in Supreme Court in New York with family members present. He is Jewish and grandfather is a Holocaust survivor. Defense attorney Brandon Freysenet, whoo, that's a cold name right there. I've never seen a name like that. Said in court, adding that his client would not want to harm his own people. Both defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges on Wednesday. Brown faces up to 25 years in prison, and Maurer faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted on the most of the serious charges. The two were arrested by Metropolitan Transportation Authority officers as they were entering Penn Station in Manhattan on November 19th, according to NYPD Commissioner Keishant Sewell. Remember, the suspects allegedly possessed a firearm, high-capacity magazine, a military-style hunting knife, a Nazi swastika arm patch. Don't miss that one. Yeah. And so, hey, man, wow, that's kind of interesting, huh? Now, that's what that says. A ski mask and a bulletproof vest, officials said. Wow. Wow. A horrific tragedy was averted thanks to the diligent hard work and coordination between my office, our local and state federal law enforcement partners, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said in a Wednesday statement. The increase of anti-Semitic attacks and threats cannot and will not be tolerated. Now, see, this is where the pivot just happened. Hold on now. You just said this was all in-house. It's all in-house. How are we getting there? How are we getting anti-anything? It's all in-house. See how they making that move? That's the type of stuff you want to always pay attention to when they start doing that type of thing. Because it's like, wait a minute, how are you making that pivot? Hey, anti-Semitic? No, this is all in-house. Nobody outside of their community is involved in this. But yet they still got a hate crime bill by way of it, though. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there, I guess. More money that quick, bam. And it wasn't even true? Oh, okay, cool. Bam. Look how that works. No power there. Anyway, the Manhattanites and all New Yorkers should know that we continue to vigorously prosecute hate crimes every day and are using every tool at our disposal to address hate and bias. I guess I can just input real quick. Everybody except for black folk. Output. New York State leads the nation in anti-Semitic incidents, with at least 416 reported in 2021, including at least 51 assaults. Okay, so here's one of the questions I have. Is this one of the things where all of these things that you reported were mostly just verbal? Because as a black person, for us, well, what did they actually call you, the N-word? If they didn't say that, then it's not racist, and you ain't experienced nothing. All the stuff they did, anybody can say any damn thing what they want to us, and it's cool. You can call our women, our daughters, our college daughters, nappy-headed hoes, and I mean, hey, you guys just being sensitive. Okay. Got it. Yeah, so 416 reported in 2021, including at least 51 assaults, the highest number ever recorded by the Anti-Defamation League. That's the highest number? And y'all actually trying to talk to black people crazy? That's the highest, man. See, here's my problem. It's the arrogance into which you address us. We ain't your property. We belong to the Most High, even if you think that we belong to you. My Lord. Let's see. There were 12 assaults reported in 2020. But man, I mean, it's epidemic, huh? A rising epidemic. Now, how many anti-black attacks actually happened in that same time? I think we're somewhere in the, might be close to the thousands, because I know there's no other group that's even remotely close. Not especially you, especially the Asians, and especially the non-black and black LGBTQ. Yeah, nowhere near. Nowhere near. So you don't have to talk that to us. But nonetheless, hey, like I always tell you, they're playing when all else fails. Lie. A total of 2,717 anti-Semitic incidents were reported last year across the nation. Yeah, damn it. Okay, wait. Hold on now. Let me just come back up here. You just said there was in 2021, there was 416 reported, 51 assaults. But then on the next paragraph, you're saying a total of 2,717 anti-Semitic incidents were reported last year across the nation. First off, not saying that this did not happen, but how are we knowing that these reports are actually substantiated with factual evidence? And what criteria are they using to determine that? Because right now we're just saying, oh, well, here's a recorded number. Yeah, based on what? See, those are the questions that don't never get asked. But we as black folks get, well, how do you know? I mean, when do you have the proof? How do you know? I mean, that's a big allegation to say. I mean, how can you? Well, this is a big allegation to say. How do we know this is true? Like I said, I ain't saying it's not. But see, that's the freedom of speech part. You get to ask questions. Because see, if we're supposed to gain clarity, then we need to know what we're gaining clarity about. because this doesn't make sense. But anyway, a 34% increase compared to the 2026 in 2020. According to the ADL has been tracking such incidents since 1979. Its previous reports have found anti-Semitism in America has been on the rise for years, but anti-Blackness has been nonstop and steady. The indictment comes the same day that Doug Emhoff, the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, held a roundtable on anti-Semitism at the White House. Oh, yeah, that's right. During which he warned of an, quote, epidemic of hate facing our country. So that's all I'll really get into it. I think. Let's see. Wait, hold on. It says the document states Brown sent out a series of disturbing tweets from November 12th to November 17th, including one saying, quote, gonna ask a priest if I should become a husband or shoot up a synagogue and die. So you guys saw these tweets and didn't think that there was anything to address then? Or is that how you guys like, oh, yeah, that's a disturbing tweet. Here's the one thing, though. He's within your own community. So I don't understand how this got into the anti-Semitism talk. Other than he's using verbiage that y'all say is that. But how is it if he's one of you too? Like this is a Semitic on Semitic crime, as they would say, that you never hear. Call records show Brown and Marr communicated with each other on the phone, and November 18th, they went to St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York. The document states surveillance footage showed that Brown was wearing a backpack that police later found contained a knife, a swastika armband, and a ski mask, and the document states. Okay, then we heard that. Oh, wait. Oh, wait a minute. Well, now this part is important. The two men that met a third. Oh, wait. The two men then met with a third person and in a recorded phone call with a prison inmate said they were driving to Pennsylvania to get a firearm. The indictment states Brown sent Marr 650 and Marr then 700 to the third person. The documents say. Well, why aren't they? Is this an illegal sale? I mean, this is a sale in the commission of a crime. This is okay. Now, again, let's look at the elements that we just heard. So you have an inmate. How does the inmate figure into this equation? Because if you guys are out planning on doing whatever you're planning on doing, it definitely doesn't require you talking on a recorded phone going into a prison or a jail, talking about what you're about to go do. Right? I mean, just, I don't know. Doesn't that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, well. Yeah. So yeah, they and I guess that's about all that, because they're not gonna get too much in it. So I guess we just have to keep seeing what's going on with this case with Brown and Marr. Now there's a federal complaint, but they say Brown and Marr are not named in the federal complaint and are not facing federal charges. but their identities were confirmed by CNN. Oh, by a CNN spokesperson for the Southern District of New York. Hakeem drove Maurer and Brown in his Range Rover. Hold on, wait, hold on. Not, this got to be spelled. I mean, it's spelled because it's spelled like Hakime. So maybe that's a last name. I mean, because you ain't finna tell me they did all of this and they went and met up with Hakeem. I know you're not finna do that. Y'all not finna do that. Stop it. Come on, man. You met up with Hakeem to go do this work at the synagogue? Man, if you don't get the hell up out of here, I smell BS, family. Yeah, okay. So Hakeem drove Maurer and Brown in his come on, man. In his Range Rover. It's like y'all really trying to go out the way and make it seem like this shit a black dude. This a black dude with money too. See, these boys is innocent. It's him and his inmate pals. They blackmailing these kids. These are good children. And this ain't just like they got the one black dude that's remotely close to this, and they are throwing that brother all the way into the conversation. He owns as I'm glancing, I'm gonna just start it over. Just soak this in, family. This is how you know that they finally got to the black man in the story. Hakeem drove Maurer and Brown in his Range Rover November 18th to a house he owns in Pennsylvania where they obtained a gun and ammunition from him, the federal complaint alleges. While in the car, they spoke to someone on a recorded line from a state detention facility about the firearms purchase. Federal and state prosecutors say Hakeem told the incarcerated individual that he took over his spot in their apartment building. And what law enforcement is reference to his firearm trafficking activities per the federal complaint. Hakeem eventually dropped the pair off at Maurer's home on the Upper West Side that night. Maurer's family member discovered the firearm and ammunition in his bedroom soon after and reported it to law enforcement, according to the federal complaint. The family member voluntarily turned over the backpack to law enforcement officers at the apartment later that night. Days later, Hakeem was photographed leaving his apartment building with the black garbage bags. The complainant alleged he was clearing out any evidence of his trafficking operation and planned to lay low at his Pennsylvania home, learning that Maurer was in trouble, according to a recorded phone conversation in the complaint. Man, they finna get these. Man, I don't want to be a gangster no more, dude. I'm a white boy, man, just like you. I smell it coming. Hey, man, I mean, I don't want to be part of that life no more, man. I just want to be straight, man, just like you, man. You hanging out to a Hakeem and getting guns and stuff, having friends and the big homie up and oh no, man. See, I ain't even try to be a gang member no more, man. I mean, I'm white. Lord. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Painful. All right, let me see who we done had join us off being here in the chat tonight. Let's see. Tanya Zion, greetings. AK Sour Gods, Black First, salute my brother. Maxwell Jenkins, Black First, yes indeed. Man, Hakeem, come on. And we was really watching him. So, that's the person that we really want to get. So, what we're just going to get you to come over here and do is tell. All right. Now, some of y'all might be wondering what is in the title of today's broadcast. Well, on the thumb, you see understanding the EOC and, of course, also Van Jones' speech, and Warnock wins, of course. But what EOC stands for is enemies of color. As you can see on your screen, up to the top left is Kira Davis. Yeah. And what she has to say is the left half $1 trillion slavery reparations fantasy is a woke joke and an insult to every Black American whose ancestors sought freedom from government, not more bondage to it. It's dirtbag. Okay, so let's see. So yes, this is what we mean by enemies of color. That woman right there, and then also this woman here who also had something to say. So while I'm reading this about the Kira, look at just some of the stuff that this other woman had to say about our claims. But let me read this article here. A 500-page mess of social engineering, vague definitions, and impossible spending. No design to address the important issues of racial wealth disparity, but to use handouts to hide the progressive left's true cynical objective, power and control. Well, here's the weird thing for me about that whole left and right thing. The Democrats said they don't support reparations. So, to keep trying to shove that out there, no, because we remember this.
You heard the word reparations there. The NAACP defines it as financial recompensation for African Americans whose ancestors were slaves. Tuberville seemed to be saying that blacks are, quote, the people that do the crime. Now, the Democratic Party does not support reparations, though President Biden has supported studying the issue.
Yeah, see, this is the reality of the stuff that we are absolutely getting. So it's not what they're saying. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't getting that. Stop it. Let's see. At its core, this proposal views Black people as infanticized, uneducated victims who most certainly can't be trusted with the tools to improve their own lives. It is an insult, a mirage, a distraction. First, the Black community cannot even agree on the fundamental question of who should receive reparations. Well, you can kind of hold your horses back on that conversation because you're wrong. We absolutely have locked that down. It is lineage-based reparations. See, here's the thing. These people are not those descendants. Now, remember the story that I read just a while ago from the man who was talking about descendants and descendants and descendants. He know who we are. Funny, you got a whole Russian over there that could figure out who we are, but people over here, man, what's an FBA? Yeah, we can stop that. Well, nobody really knows who FBA and what an FBA. I seen this one big waterhead dude that was dressed like Juneteenth at the march, and he out there like that he went and got. He's one of the ones that got interviewed by the white woman. So the op squad was out there, and oh man, all of this, and then they're making this big pivot talking about these folks that nobody at the rally was talking about. I was like, that is not an agenda. So when I seen Tariq play them video, I'm like, wow. And then you got all these random dudes, because I seen the one big head dude before in a video talking against foundational Black Americans. So I was like, when I saw him walk past the camera, I'm like, wait a minute. What are you doing there? I know that's right. This is not correct. There's something wrong with this. Because I remember him talking down on foundational Black Americans before. But anyway, let me continue. So it's the woman right here, this light-skinned lady here. That's who I'm reading with this bull. But let me go on here. I'm a California resident and tuned into the task force meeting or last meeting, which was marred by accusations of bias, of discrimination, and corruption. Some advocated for anyone of Black racial heritage, including immigrants and their descendants, to receive compensation, while others argued that only Black American descendants should be eligible. Well, see, here's the whole argument of who should get reparations is a lie in itself. Reparations is for what? Repair from the harm done from slavery. Stop. Not Jim Crow, not redlining. No, that's a whole different issue to address within addressing the reparations claim. But altogether is a separate claim and issue for those particular groups. You understand what I'm saying? That's just simply what that is. Black Star TV, what is going on, my brother? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maxwell Jenkins said, how will reparations tie us foundational Black American freedmen to the government? Exactly. I mean, man, and it's not no damn handout. That's a debt owed. Just like you saw CJ Pearson coming out of his pie hole talking that with that tether hairline. Anyway, in the end, the committee determined that Black residents who are descendants of either Black slaves or free Black persons living in the United States prior to the end of the 19th century would qualify. This superficial process was held as a victory. Boy, she's a damn hater, ain't she? This superficial progress was hailed as a victory, but scratched below the surface, and it's clear that they've done little to advance the impossible dream of true racial reparations. Hey, what is racial reparations? No, we ain't talking about being identified, man, or accepted. What the hell are you talking about? Let's see. Okay, so I'm a California resident, blah, 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 blah. Some accusations of discriminations above the more. Okay, this I did find a bit. See, I think she has more to say. More of that. Okay. I'm trying to find the way this is on here again. Once upon a time, freed American slaves were promised 40 acres and a mule as compensation for their pain. Freed slaves, for the most part, found that the offer acceptable. The reason for this is simple. The only way to escape poverty is to accumulate wealth, not cash. Wealth requires ownership. But then are you going to say what was, again, what the hell is she talking about that most found this acceptable? freed slaves were due compensation. And yes, 40 acres and a mule. And you would also have to leave them alone. 40 acres, a mule, and a rifle, by the way. So yeah, don't forget that part. Supposed to have that ammunition to be able to protect yourself. Let's see. Understanding this, our ancestors from the era of slavery were content with the opportunity to work for their own families in pursuit of their own future rather than continued forced servitude for the benefit of whites. Well, see, no, ma'am. Here's where you're wrong, and I correct that notion that it was solely for the benefits of whites. No, ma'am. It's for the benefit of the dreamers. It's for the benefit of Holocaust survivors. It's for the benefit of the people who came over here as peasants in Ellis Island. It's for all of those Iranian Jewish people who had to leave and flee to America in about 1982. Yeah, see, it's not just white folks. What about the Asians? Oh, they got a hate crime bill too, huh? Damn, look at that. Now look at the Ukrainians. Damn, they caking out. Man, all of these people balling out. But you can't see why we deserve reparations. You treasonous individual, you. 40 acres and a mule is what they were promised, but not what they received. The rest is history. No, but why don't you get into that part? But now we see that the original promise of Black American ownership has also been lost. Oh, no. Let's address the government's failure to keep its promise to the people it promised this to begin with. They didn't get it, but someone else did. We're not going to forget that part. It's not that it just went away. No, it was distributed to the slave owners. These type of people right here, boy, I'll tell you what, must hate your own skin. And then be so fan. Well, how can't I know I'm black? Yeah, I know. I know you black. But I know you hate what you know. See that? What you know don't change what you hate. You ain't gonna tell me that. I know what I see. Let's see. Let's see. It's also been lost. No. Ownership has not been lost. Remember, we still, after not getting 40 acres and a mill, Black Wall Street still popped up all around the country. Black cities were thriving, being left alone. And then the government, once again, with local law enforcement and local yokels, along with the government airplanes and ammunition to go level these damn towns and get these black folks back in the poorhouse. So then they had to start relying on the damn government because, hey, man, how are you going to survive? And then you tank the economy, sink, everything goes into a depression while you're melting down black towns. Idiots. But these are scorched earth individuals anyway. So you got to even understand where that theory comes from. If I can't enjoy it, no one will. Blow it all up. Y'all better go back and watch the first Planet of the Apes, the one with Charlton Heston. Beware of the Beast Man, for he is the harbinger of death. Let's see. So yeah, replaced by the reparations task force. The promise. Wait. But now we see that the original promise of Black American ownership has also been lost, replaced by the reparations task force, horrifying labyrinth of Black Lives Matter inspired government committees, oversight, and social justice programs? Boy, this. Oh, by the way, she is a bad wench. If you didn't know, yes. Stud wench. Anyway, but man, I just go back. But now we see that the original promise. So again, we were promised something, so that means we're due. It's not given to us. And then you say it got replaced with the very same promise that we got robbed of. And you're using that as, hey, this is double speak like a mug, family. This is somebody talking to you like you stupid. That's what that is. You understand me? Somebody start doing that to you, they have no respect for you. This committee is supposed to be the model for reparations across the country? What a joke. They report focused on comparatively irrelevant issues like climate, racism. No. Climate, race. How many of y'all was actually in them meetings? They were not talking about no climate racism. That is not no conversation that was there. That's that stuff that like the Cheryl Grills people try to put in there. Those are plants, just like your punk ass. I mean, but good grief. And domestic violence caused by alleged white supremacy. Alleged white, ooh, there it is. There it is. Alleged white supremacy. That's what we talking about. She's saying alleged. That woman right there on the screen. Now, she going to tell you, well, I'm a black woman. But she talking like this. I'm a black woman. Yeah. Enemies of color. That is what EOC stands for. Understanding this psychotic, self-hating babble. Like you said, Cyberdyne, babble. For real. Alleged white supremacy. So now white supremacy is alleged? Well, wait a minute. What is Kanye or Ye being accused of now? They're trying to call him a white supremacist. Funny. It's alleged, though. So is it alleged with Kanye, too? I would just wonder. Rather than focusing on the legacy of slavery and segregation, the committee dedicated an absurd amount of attention to the health of Black LGBTQ Americans. More than 400 pages into the document, we are told Black transgender women are less likely to access health care because of the legacy of enslavement, or that Black LGBTQ Americans have also been found to have higher rates of diabetes, asthma, heart attacks, and cancer. I have not interviewed every single Black person in America, but I can confidently say as a Black person, that's how you know you got a bona fide bad wench on your hands or a coon. So, I mean, as a Black person, when you leading with that, this is a cosign for white supremacy. As a Black person, that is if you asked a random person of color on the street what the purpose of reparations is, no one would say it was about compensating men who believe they are women for their health battles. I heard nothing of this conversation. Now, yeah, it might be in that. It might be in the wording, because again, But see, here's the thing that we keep saying. We have to keep an eye on the trick bag. So actually, thanks, Stud Winch, because, we know now, here's some other shit that we didn't know was in there. So thank you, while being such a damn self-deprecating hater. But, nonetheless, still had a use. But this report is more than just ridiculous. It's dangerous. The committee pushes for the redistribution of businesses and property in California, allegedly stolen through racial terror, a ridiculously vague and pernicious idea. Now, how? We just had Bruce's Beach. Give him back. How? You have Nina Simone shit trying to be taken by Kamala Harris. What are you talking about? I've been eminent domain black folks all up and down California's history. What the hell is this nut talking about? Redistribution of businesses? Ain't nobody said no shit like that. Now this woman is just lying. And you have to be mindful of that. Who's this? That's one of them other ones. So yeah, that's that. I mean, here, see, when you have a mix of faces that's in the background, yeah, they trying to pin some funny business in there, but you best believe that is not our agenda. So yeah, don't confuse yourself. Hell, don't confuse yourself at all. Yeah, okay. So here, let me oh no, I ain't on there. Now, one of the dudes that's on this task force is Dr. Greg Carr of Howard University, and known to be a frequent contributor on the Roland Martin Show. He's on the task force, I guess now, or on one of these boards or committees. So when you start seeing, they're putting all this other stuff, yeah, that's Democrats, because the Democrats are trying to make sure they put as much of a wedge of set aside money for sidebar groups, which is no need for a descendant, because you don't have to get into that because they're already descendants. Done deal. That's why it's been done on that. But I don't know what again has commenced in these in that 500-page document. But like I said, I'm glad to know that they was also pushing that. I mean, because again, we have to stay on top of that trick bag language. So again, why is it the same thing repeats? Let's see. It evokes the disastrous redistribution of farmland in Zimbabwe in the early 2000s. The Zimbabwe government seized farms from white colonizers. We're not going to call them landowners because they don't belong there. They're colonizers who had owned their properties for generations because they're colonizers. So you're explaining what the problem is, yes, and redistributed them to black farmers. Rightfully so. See, that's when you make right and good on something. See, so this is what you have now. Now you're seeing what her issue is. White folks getting upset. And you're going to make white people mad at us, man. And they're going to be coming and getting, you know what they be doing now. You just don't want them people there. I mean, man, they're going to come get us. I mean, this woman is supposedly a black woman talking like this. Madness. Anyway, Another reparations hater. And again, I hope you understand all of this stuff that you are seeing is all tied into the same. Enemies of color. So Van Jones, enemy of color. Raphael Warnock, enemy of color. And just pay attention to them. That and the Clyburn race, those I would just maybe just go recomb over. Now, again, of course, we know Marcel was working against the house money, but at the end of the day, we've literally seen South Carolina become the power play in the political arena when it's always been Iowa. Now all eyes on South Carolina. You have Russian diplomats or former diplomats blaming the descendants of these slaves, not everybody else, especially, not crying for the white colonizers or slave owners to have their wealth that they ill got and being redistributed the right way. Like, you have a whole system that makes people pay restitution. That makes sense to you. The IRS collects on their debts, and if they don't get paid on time, they charge you interest. That makes sense to you. You say, well, yes, you were promised this, they reneged and gave it to someone else. Any other situation in law in America calls for treble damages. That's meaning 3 times. Because you already did the harm, you then didn't make good on it again. So yes. Yeah, you need to break us off. So even to come up with this ridiculous conversation that she's in is just asinine. Let's see here. The random redistribution puts inexperienced farmers in charge of highly fertile lands. The economy crashed, and eventually the government had to admit the entire scheme was a failure. Oh man, doesn't that sound like something? Doesn't that sound like something? Hold on.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European.
I'm just saying. Would this type of redistribution mean seizing land and businesses from their current owners in California? Granted, those people are not Black. Such a thought is deeply concerning. As an American and a decent human being, which you are putting on yourself, because you cannot identify yourself as decent. That's for the public to do. And I don't see that. There is also a recommendation to create more mandatory anti-bias curricula. Yes. Because you want to teach all this other stuff in school. Yeah, that should probably also make sense. Especially anti-Black training that you want to do for police officers. It probably should be starting around preschool. So you don't have to wait until they're grown adult and sadistic psychos. But I mean, I'm just saying. Which is already happening. In California, public schools, so-called anti-racism training has already ignited fury among the parents of all races for this embedded discrimination against white students. Wow, she's concerned, ain't she? The committee pushes for redistribution of businesses and properties allegedly. Okay, yeah. So the committee designed a whopping $223,000 or $2,300,000 per person for housing issues alone. That amounts to over $500 billion, not to mention what will inevitably be required in order to rectify bizarre complaints over transgender diabetes and climate change. Come on, man. You doing too much. You trying to see this is, oh man, this is just turned into a whole straw man argument. I can see where this is going. So, I mean, yeah, you get the point on what this woman here is talking about. She ain't shit. So again, this is Kira Davis. If you want to go throw up or something, you can go check her shit out. But nonetheless, that's Kira Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Piece of crap. So, like I said, so we are right about where I wanted to be. Cool. Because now the rest of it we can dedicate to Vanessa, as my brother Black Alpha say, Vanessa Jones. And I'm calling him Treason V. Jones now. He's Treason V. Jones. Let's see. Now let's look at this real quick, because this woman, now see, here's something that you got to pay attention to. Why are so many of these coalitioneers supposedly so concerned about us getting reparations or not? More so, they really want to make sure it's the or not part. Why do they not want us to get reparations? So let's just see what this ungrateful person had to say. Imagine telling millions of immigrant families that in California who are struggling to make ends meet that they are responsible to pay for something that other people's ancestors did in some part of the world that had nothing to do with them. Wrong. You said you live in California. Yeah, that part right there. Now let's go all the way to the right. Many Iranian Jewish activists living in Southern California said younger Iranian American Jews who were not born in Iran or who left Iran at a young age have been moved or have been more vocal in their activism and support of protests. So you see how she identifies? So she identifies as an immigrant, as an Iranian, and as a Jewish person. Would it be safe to say that she identifies as white? I'm just wondering. I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Like, this person would obviously identify as white, right? I don't know. What y'all think? I mean, I'm pretty sure she puts a W down in her paperwork. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, Lordy me. So you know what? I'm going to take a quick break, and then we will come back to Vanessa. So let me go ahead and do that. Where am I at? Where am I at? All right. So we shall return shortly after these brief messages. So stay tuned, because we coming right back to talk about Van Jones apologizing to the Jewish community for Black people's deafening silence, not condemning Ye and his anti-Semitic rhetoric, and the growing acceptance in the Black community of anti-Semitism. So we have to talk about this, and we'll do this when I return. So without further ado, we'll be right back.
something on your mind. Well, let me ease your pain and put your mind at ease. For the frustration in your eye, I know I'm aiming to please. So what I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, babe. Trying to get close. What I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, babe. I know you see me trying. What I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, babe. Tell me what do I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, oh, baby. I can see the hurt in the way he left your heart. The look in your eye, you're very, very scarred. So let me take away your rainy day and put all your pain on my shoulders, baby. What I gotta do, girl, trying to get close to you. I'm trying to get close to you. What I gotta do, girl, trying to get close to you. What do I gotta do? What I gotta do, baby, trying to get close to you, babe. Tell me what I gotta do. What I gotta do, girl, trying to get close to you, babe. Girl, trying to get close to you, babe. What do I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, babe. Trying to get close. What do I gotta do, girl? Trying to get close to you, babe. So
All right, all right, all right. We are back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Oh, Lord. Van Jones. He done opened up his mouth and stuck his foot all the way in. So Afro Elite in the house. What's going on, brother? Yes, indeed. T. Clay, I see you in the house. You said your evokes and music is immeasurable. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Mary Evans, hey, I see you in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Miss D at Suite 201. Hey. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's me singing. Yes, sir. Let's see. All right. So let me see here. This dude, and you know, we've heard Van Jones go do random nonsense before, but I think today takes the cake. I'm trying to find where. Okay, so Van Jones, goes out there. He took $100 from these folks. Elon Musk. Wait, no. Was it Bezos? Jeff Bezos gave him $100 million. Which when we seen him, especially those of us in the new black media, when we seen that move happen, we were saying then, oh, this ain't about Jeff Bezos paying the money. This is about getting Van Jones money, and it just doesn't look any kind of way. You know what I mean? So the passing off of cash doesn't look any kind of strange, because it is, but it is what it is. So I think I should be all right with this. Let me see. Eric Curtis said, "That's a smooth song for real." Thank you so much. Hey, Melody. Hey. Yes, indeed. Matter of fact, and I'm about to go back and go do some BTK. I just haven't got around to it, but I need to, because I did not even know who BTK was until they tried to block my video for my song. So they claiming my song. Oh, word, huh? Oh, well, let's work something out there. Yeah, let's work something out. So we're talking about, and if y'all were in our space Monday or Tuesday, yesterday, me and Black Alpha did a space yesterday talking about there is black people are not anti-Semitic, and with that, when we prove that, then it is literally ruining white supremacists' heaven. Yes, indeed. So let me see. I think I'll play this first, because somebody said that within this meeting, Van Jones was in this meeting.
Black Lives Matter starts there. I had last week a sit-down dinner at my house with 40 people, which are considered the leadership of the Black community, and very important people. They can be part of our doing an activity.
This was an Israeli government official who was saying this, not some low-level operative or some rogue member of their diplomatic corps. This was a senior member of their administrative government who was saying this on American soil.
Shout out to PBT for that. Now, when you see something like that, what do y'all think? What do you think? That's incredible. So let me get this other thing in, because I wanted to get out in front of it, and that's why we did our space. Because again, with Kanye and Kyrie, if you notice, they're doing this weird lumping in, like Kyrie is as equal as Kanye West, but then they immediately back up off of him. Well, no, it wasn't the same thing. But I mean, man, he needs to understand the error of his ways. You don't need to understand a damn thing. Leave that man be about his business. You go about yours. What the hell are you talking about? But this is a control factor. You got to get them under control. Let's see. Is this the one? Yeah, I think this is it. Oh, God. So they sent this fool out of here to go cape. You out of here and go do what I'm supposed to do for massa now. I just got to get out of here and just be what I'm supposed to be. Oh no, this ain't the right one. Hold on. No, that ain't the right one. Let me get the right one in here for y'all. And then the dude from the was it ADL or whatever? He was on the Breakfast Club. I might have to, because I wanted to listen to I think I did listen to majority of it. It would be long to do here, but I might do that. That might be a Patreon thing. So yeah, if y'all have not subscribed to my Patreon, because as it turns out, I'm going to have to do more videos over there than I thought. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the one I wanted. Here we go. Vanessa
Zellner. I'm her godson. And Dottie Zellner was one of those crazy Jewish kids. In 1964, who had heard about what happened with the Holocaust and said she was not going to let racism and violence win. Crazy Jewish kid. And she was a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Black and white kids who decided that they were going to risk their lives and go down south and break the back of Jim Crow. And my godmother was the one that they picked to do the picking. They trusted her so much. They thought she had so much just good common sense that she got to decide which black kids and which white kids could go and which ones were going to be too nutty and need to stay back on the campus. That was my godmother. She still got good sense. And she buried her friends. 2 Jewish kids and a black kid got murdered that summer so that we could have a real democracy. We had 300 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow terror, and a bunch of crazy black and Jewish kids went down in one summer and broke the back of Jim Crow. The light that we don't talk about. And because we don't talk about it, then the haters say whatever they want to. And it's time for us to tell the truth. The reason this country is a democracy at all is because black and Jewish people have loved each other and helped each other and supported each other and stood up for each other. That's why you have a democracy here. Because the best in your community the best of you stood together. That's why you have a democracy here.
this is one thing I can't stand about people like that. They love to take the opportunity to all of a sudden do this false integration. Sexual access, brother, is not integration. It's just simply sexual access. And Van Jones is trying to turn that into something else. It's like, no. Mary Evans cap. Absolutely. Now let's go down what he said. Like I said, if we remember something about another thing that was underlining in the civil rights movement was that they had people like Bayard Rustin and other operatives because the government wanted to pivot the agenda away from Black economics and Black empowerment to pushing what you see now is civil rights. That's literally what Bayard Rustin had come out of his mouth. So you got to understand what this goes way, way, way back. This is a long-term plan they have for Black folk. Y'all feel me? So when you see stuff like this, y'all just got to understand. He's been paid off. He's been buck broken. And they got him in there to come further the agenda of putting a target on Black folks' backs. That's what this is about. This is about putting a target on Black people's backs. Y'all feel me? What he wants to do or is doing is the dirty work of his paymasters, which makes him absolute trash. You know what I'm saying? Absolute garbage. Absolutely bug broken. I mean, this dude is for real out here with it. But, there's one more thing. Let me see. I got to play y'all before we dip. Because, see, we got to get to the point. He's getting out here to push propaganda. We are not perpetuating anything like that. This, I think so. Yep. Let me get this on in here. And then, while I'm getting that, let me get this over here. All right. No, I can't. So I'm gonna just play the audio for this. So just take a listen real quick.
That they're labeled anti-Semitic. What is the difference between saying, hey, which is a fact there are Black Jews, and what y'all consider anti-Semitic in that conversation?
I don't know. Anyone could. I mean, the fact there are Black Jews is just a statement of truth. I don't think that's anti-Semitic. I mean, I think let's also acknowledge that Judaism is a wide spectrum, right? So you have Orthodox Jews who speak Yiddish, who eat strict kosher and observe the way they do, and then you have very Reformed Jews who, like me, like I'm conservative Jewish actually. I have a kosher home. I go to synagogue on Saturday mornings. I observe all the holidays, but I don't wear a kippah, for example.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I despise Jonathan. Oh yeah, I know, kid. Kid Gravity Beyond. Yeah. Has he blocked you? Let's see here. I'm looking for something. Bear with me. You guys just need to do better. That's more of that conversation. And because they love giving us this, and see, we've always had this. Again, people that do that type of conversation ain't for black folks. That is not about black folks. That is about making someone else feel comfortable. Like, man, black people do be acting up and stuff, huh? Man, just can't get together. We be fighting all the man. We just don't get along. We just can't get along with each other. Because we just be fighting and Tariq Nasheed gets all that money. It always amazes me how people make this weird ass pivot. Like, hold on. Who? How did you get his? You done talked this man's wallet into the conversation. How'd you do that? That goes to show where people's minds be at. I knew I had some. We got a couple things to look at before we go. Oh, yeah, let me get that. Okay. Yeah, we going to Twitter run before we get out of here. Oh yeah, get this. I know there was a couple of things I had to show up a while ago. Okay, hold on. Now I'm looking for this video. Where I can't stand when this happens. Bear with me 1 second, family. I should not be looking for it this tough. Oh, here's another story too. Bill Gates sent $7 million to Africa that will promote abortion as population control. You understand? You hear how wicked this man is? Okay, let me show you that. All right. I'm still looking for one doggone video, and I know I had it. Hold on. And another thing about the whole Kanye thing, he's not no influence on the black. I don't know why people keep talking about Kanye, man, and when Kanye's saying all of this, man, black people ain't listening to what he's talking about. He's already dissed the black community. So how now can he be the person to be saying anything? Are you kidding? Almost there, I know. Unless they done took this down. Because you know how when things be getting exposed, they be taking videos down. And I have a sneaking suspicion that's what happened here. Wow. Oh, okay. So it's like, some other videos have probably been taken down, but okay, that's all right. That is okay. Let's see here. Come on now. I don't know why that's freezing. what I'm looking at. Okay, let me get back to this.
It's a religion. It's an ethnicity. It's a culture. It's just not something you can just say is about, like showing up on a Saturday morning. So with all that said, there's a range of practice and observance. So there are plenty of black Jews who go to what you might call traditional Jewish synagogue. Then there are other communities like Israelites. Now, there's a range of practice even among black Hebrew Israelites. There's a large community of them in Israel who identify as Jewish in a traditional way. And then you have the guys in Times Square who observe in a way that's not so traditional, I would say.
They would say y'all aren't Jews. It would say that, what do they say? White people are not the original Jews, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
And look, they're entitled to their beliefs till that justifies shooting Jewish people with pellet guns on Staten Island. Or like, this is December, 3 years ago.
Those people were not Hebrew Israelites. So you need to stop with the false comparison. That person in the New York, the subway shooter, not a Hebrew Israelite. Cut it out. He might have even identified, who knows how he identified, but he was not part of any Hebrew Israelite camp. So you need to cut that out. See, that's the problem when people get one-sided narratives from individuals and they say, well, hey, you're accusing me of this is wrong and racist. No, either you're doing it or you are not. And if those people ain't those people, prove
December 2019, 2 black Hebrew Israelites went into a kosher supermarket in Jersey City and killed 3 people because they said they weren't real Jews.
Wow.
Shot.
And they weren't real Hebrew Israelites neither. See how that works? So them people were not Hebrew Israelites. You got some deranged individuals who go out there to, man, there's agent provocateurs everywhere, family. So let's just keep that in perspective when you're hearing madness like this.
Them cold dead in a kosher supermarket. So again, you're entitled to believe whatever you want, but I think we need to recognize that rhetoric can have real world consequences.
Like this? Yeah, see, them is all your peoples. Whether you claim to be part of this or not. No, like I said, we're over here in the grassroots and the new black media. We don't spend a whole lot of time separating out lights from darker whites or however you identify as white. No, it's just all one big blanket thing over here. You are all white. Iranian, white. Chinese, white. What you identify as? What you put down on your paperwork? Don't let me lie on you. What you put down on your own paperwork? Y'all know what you put. You know what you be telling people. Let's see. Let me show you this other little tasty tidbit, and we gonna get ready to skedaddle. But I just find it interesting. All the things that are overlooked, and when it comes down to black folks, man, this American rap music is horrible. Music, and it's not even just rap artists, it's black music artists. If you are old enough to remember or have studied the history of black music in America, one of the things that they were always trying to combat the sound is they would always call it jungle music. Yeah, they didn't want their kids falling in love with jungle music.
5 minutes. Well, good afternoon. I'm excited to be here with each of you. Before I get started on my questions, Mr. Moynihan, I wanted to let you know, Saruthi, raise your hand, Saruthi. She has been my team member for a couple of years now, but on Monday, she becomes a Bank of America team member, about which she is very, very excited. So I hope you'll take good care of her and know and recognize the talent that she has shown already in our office. I'm sure she'll do the same at Bank of America.
We will do that, and her father already works for us, so he'll take care of it.
You should have called us.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to chat about some of these issues today. What I'm really interested in is the state of the economy.
How are you floating your resume to big banks? I mean, you're supposed to be the ones, police.
Now, okay, that is all that. Yeah, interesting. I don't know what was there, but that's that banking oversight committee, all intertwined. Did you see the icons of the different banks that are represented? All intertwined, all in a mix. And not only that, see, here's the big point. You got people on both sides. Now, don't let these fools come up here talking this madness. Man, what we need to do is we just can't get together because we ain't this and that. No, that is a system of control to control you. So the one thing that sounds nice, please examine it before you open your mouth with that idea. Walk it all the way through. But first, walk why it hasn't been done. Walk down that road first. Why hasn't it been done already? And I know if anybody comes up entering into the conversation about celebrities and all of these people, why don't they do this? Then I know you're not ready for any type of conversation of this magnitude. Because that's the first place to begin. If you don't understand that, like, oh, okay, we're not really going anywhere in the conversation. That's pretty much dead on arrival. I know some people, well, that's not right. You got to hear everybody else. I have no time to waste with the uninformed. That's for someone else. Nonetheless, I'm more proud of anybody who want to do that. It won't be me. And so as y'all seen today, I'm sure that there was some awards given out at the White House, and Chuck Schumer and the big albino turtle, Mitch McConnell, was right there to shake some hands because, and black people pretty much got reparations when they got Barack Obama. So, after that, I don't know why they really think they need anything else. I mean, we had our first black president. They got reparations. I mean, hey, that's why they ain't shaking your hand. Well, no, it ain't, but that's a thing. No, it's at the Capitol. Oh, one more time. That's almost like the Tim Scott. Damn. Awkward. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, man. Hella awkward. Like Van Jones and all that BS crying he be doing. And he was really happy too. Man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Raphael Warnock won. He didn't start crying, but I'm so happy. Really? Never forget. You were happy and crying over this too. And you ain't seen ne'er one of them do a damn thing for black folk. Matter of fact, Ketanji trying to figure out a way how to use race-based now. Now that we got to lineage-based, she's trying to work. See, y'all pay attention to this woman, and you will get a couple of these numbskulls, clown sorors, and fraternity nuts to come out here and be, hey, there, I see you just hating on the sister now. She's actually talking right for black folks out here. No, not. Only reason why Ketanji has came up on Capitol Hill more than once talking about race-based issues is because for the longest, race-based reparations was against the Constitution. We just can't do anything that's race-based. Now that it's lineage-based, well, I see this is the whole reason for the 14th Amendment. It actually is literally based on race. Oh. Got it. This is the hustle. Well, here's another part of the hustle. Now, if you guys get a chance to, and like I said, I might do a Patreon video on my breakdown of the Breakfast Club interview, because that is a very interesting. There's a lot in there that I want to unpack, and I want to break down that audio. But nonetheless, something else that this dude said that you just heard from the little clip that I played from the Breakfast Club is that the ADL was formed behind a Jewish man being lynched. Now, of course, that was a high profile case. It was only once. No, I mean, I'm sure it probably happened more than that, but that was the high profile situation that got them the ADL, and they've been rolling ever since. Now, where you get Van Jones going wrong at is saying that the ADL, or these, like where he's standing at, you're telling me about a few individuals while you're speaking at a organization that ain't never stood up for black folk. And all of these black people being on right now ain't said nothing, but somehow we're together. Here's something else I want y'all to notice. Some of y'all might even saw an ad as you initiated to come into this broadcast. Did you see any anti-Semitic commercials today on your YouTube channel? For those of you who have ads, because I know I did. I know I saw me one. I was like, oh, word. You already got commercials. So there's already a digital campaign against the rise in anti-Semitism. Where is this attention for us when you so quick to come over to us to get up on your issues? See, when we see the rabbis, oh, it's a time for peace. We see all of them getting together. It's a time for a check. Yeah, we want some of that. We want some of that action. We want that check action. Feel me? Oh, we also need a crime bill. Matter of fact, speaking of crime bills, let me put this in here. So let me give you a comparative situation here. Oh, Lord. Going back to Capitol Hill. Because these people are so phony and fake, it ain't funny. You got Van Jones, man, we've always been against. Shut up. No, you've always wanted to sleep with their women. That doesn't make our situation better. And then the stud wench that I played earlier, Kira Davis. This nut is over here talking about alleged white supremacist terrorists. She bitching?
Case Investigation Support Act. And by doing it with the support of Democrats and Republicans in the United States Senate, we will demonstrate that the United States will never rest in the pursuit of truth and justice for those who were lynched, abducted, beaten, killed, and assaulted in the segregation-era South and during the Civil Rights Movement.
only allowing residents of the apartment into the vicinity.
We gonna keep putting pressure on Carolyn Bryant from the cradle until she's in her grave.
Streets of Bowling Green to make their voices heard and demand justice for Emmett Till, who was lynched for whistling at a woman in 1955 at of 14 years old, is living in an apartment complex on Shive Lane in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The protesters gathered outside the complex urging a Mississippi court to order the arrest of Dunham and say they will not stop fighting until justice is served. Priscilla Sterling, a distant cousin of Emmett Till, spoke to the crowd of protesters, saying the laws in the United States are unfair and unjust to people of color.
The focus here today is about justice. It's about America. The laws are not pertaining to white people like they are to black. It's a double standard here when it comes to the laws in the United States.
As a man or woman soweth, that shall she also reap. Where there is justice, there can be no peace. Where there has been no justice, there will be no peace in the life of Carol and Bryant. We have God's word on that. Come on now.
Now, what he immediately said, what he said was, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do all of this." Let's just so we clear. Maybe I didn't hear him right.
Support of Democrats and Republicans in the United States Senate. We will demonstrate that the United States will never rest in the pursuit of truth and justice for those who were lynched, abducted, beaten, killed, and assaulted in the segregation-era South and during the Civil Rights Movement.
Like Emmett Till. Well, you have an address on Carolyn Bryant and an open warrant. What you're all waiting on. And y'all the government. You don't have to wait for the state. What you waiting on? What's holding you back? Go get her. Yeah, that warrant's still there. Yeah, go get her. Well, what you waiting on? Wait, man, we are committed. Are you? Show us. Because there's a Nazi woman that's, I think, 2 years older than her that y'all got is sitting in a cell right now. So go get that woman and take her down there and run her ass in, man. It's time for that. You want to show black people something? Get that woman off the street, man. Give a damn about how she is. You got to wheel her and her oxygen tank into cell. Hell. So yeah, see, these are the type of things that we are facing with Van Jones. These type of things, matter of fact, let me show you this again. Let's just have a refresher because we're talking about Jerry Jones. That was so long ago. Oh man, that was so long. What? Word. But all of these parents in the classroom for little Ruby, because I guess her little black heebie-jeebie cooties were going to get all on their little white skin and turn them into little black kids. Then they'd just be running around like little mulattoes, and they would want to break into your house and smoke up all your cigarettes. Because see, back then they were still making up stories. They had to invent things to put on black folks. Because black folks wasn't harming nobody. Black folks was just trying to live their life and not be harmed by some sadistic white supremacists. And now we have to worry about white supremacists coming from abroad. And just like that woman said, a proxy war. Actually, remove that. I don't want that. Wrong thing. Proxy war. Matter of fact, I might have to play that again. Because now that when she says proxy war, that's another thing that we might want to pay attention to. Because what is Van Jones doing? Isn't he participating in that same agenda? All that money they spending over there, you got nothing but Azov battalion, nothing but Nazi over there. And we're spending billions of money trying to make them same Nazis. victims. How the hell that makes sense? Oh yeah, this one part too. So real quick, let me play this. And then I'm gonna play that last part right before we get on up out here. So just to be fresh on your mind, what's being said in the EU. So what we say over here in the grassroots and the new black media, you best believe everybody else is paying attention for their own interest though. But they are fully paying attention. Now, like I said, it's all about their interests. They don't give a damn about us. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, shout out to these brothers in Philly who, I don't know, some people may be like, I don't want to see this. Well, like I say like this, there is nothing wrong with having your own security. I have no problem with that at all.
She's going to be here till, how late you guys are going to be here?
6:30.
6:30.
Security boss.
I would think so.
Okay. No, all this handling. It's too much for me.
It's too much for me. And I mean, come on, sisters. Come on, sisters. You can't be out there doing that now. The first thing you see with, and this is security. They paid for that. That ain't just some armed militia. That they are there to protect. That's their job. They were hired to do that. Man, it's just too much for me. Cut that shit out. Crew reality. What is going on, my brother? Yeah, cut that out. No, this is what it's supposed to look like. This isn't marching up and down the street indiscriminate with guns. No, they're there for an objective. But now, man, it's too much for me. Man, if they was marching, black power to the people, then you would be so much better because they'd be out there chanting. But now they out there just sitting up there on post. Man, it's a little much for me. I don't know if I can just stand around these brothers like that. It's just kind of seeming a little dangerous. Come on, man. You got to get your scary ass up out of here. Stop that. That's what your protection is supposed to look like. And just let that be a lesson. How we've been programmed to not defend ourselves. Because that's all that is. That is ensuring you can protect your business. They're not even there against the cops. They're there because the cops wouldn't come protect their business. With a black police chief at that. No, commissioner. Danielle Outlaw, our former police chief. How about that? And you can't get no help from your black police commissioner. Damn it. But nonetheless, let's just go back right before we go and revisit this last little tasty tidbit of information that I shared with you earlier. And this is from the EU's proceedings talking about this Ukrainian war and the price tag of it. But just make sure you ingest all of it. Because when they talk about the proxy war, that is the anti-black agenda. But they're using something else to get to this. So pay attention how much they're spending. Now, what have they already done? They made sure people got nanobot technology, right? Didn't we just hear about nanobots? Get that in here. Let me get that in here. Them nanobots that Joe Biden was just talking about, that he kind of spaced out on. No. Nanobots. Boy, what y'all gonna do with this man? Here you go.
And today, TSMC has announced a second major investment We'll construct a second fab here in Phoenix to build chips, 3 nano chips, the 3 nano chip. Chips that are 3 nano, and you know what I'm saying. Nano, no, I don't know.
Wow. And now you take that nano talk, though, and just apply it to this. What does it sound like they're trying to get to?
Billions of EU assistance going to Ukraine are not free. They're loans, which Ukraine will default on, and they come with neoliberal strings attached. If you listen to the economists, Ukraine is marked for a nightmare round of shock therapy, a sell-off of public land, deregulation of labour, sale of public assets, on it goes. The country's future is being sold to finance a proxy war that's tearing it apart. And of course the loans have preconditions that Ukraine must uphold democracy and rule of law, but since the tap was turned on, Zelensky has banned most opposition parties, shuttered the media, attacked trade unions and workers' rights, but the billions keep flowing. This is a country our Court of Auditors have said was a country accused of grand corruption. And on it goes while the EU policy seems designed to prevent peace and keep the war going at all costs as long as ordinary people pay. So between Russian tanks and European banks, there will be little left of Ukraine when this is over. Don't forget, war is a racket and there's going to be hell to pay for this one.
She just might be more accurate than she believes. Because Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so again, Van Jones has always been nothing but a turncoat coon, and this is the demonstration of a lifetime showing that he has no understanding what it is like to stand in unity with his own folks. Even so, Michael Harriot from the Griot took and wrote a very sarcastically piece against him, and basically even Michael Harriot knew that Van Jones was only out there pandering to white folks on behalf of the blacks. I mean, if Michael Harriot can come at you like that, partner, you know how bad you look. Michael Harriot can clown you. Man, your rep is gone. Not that he never had one, because we was never really fooling with Van Jones like that anyway. But this just goes to show, yeah, while you was over there so happy, see, look, that's not gonna move the people. And I think he got $100 million a little too late, but they're probably gonna, they want to see a quick return on that investment. Hey, you get out there and go do something now, boy. I gave you that money. Now we just gave you that money. Now you need to get out there and give us some results. And this, we had to pay $80 million to get Raphael Warnock past Herschel Walker. You ain't doing your job well enough. Because it took Raphael Warnock, a Baptist preacher and sitting senator, to actually beat Herschel C.T.E. Walker, Mr. Roboto. The vampires, man, werewolves can kill vampires? Man, I didn't know. I was watching something, man. What was it, Fright Night or some night, whatever it was. Oh, my Lord. Y'all really had to pay $80 million to get around that dude. You have nothing to celebrate other than a slim margin of victory, but partner, that is a sure-tell sign of you being finished. Your party is done. And whoever the Republican, the person in the GOP, y'all better shoot me a check. I'll take that CashApp because somebody been listening. But I'll say you could run a chair against Joe Biden. It just can't be Donald Trump. And right now they are working on getting Donald Trump out the paint, but they know Mr. DeSantis is too robotic and not charismatic enough. So, there's that. I don't know what they could do, but it's like, damn, you either bank on Trump or you guys are going to have to go a whole new route over in the Republicans. Shoot, right there. See, what you have now are two parties that are basically failing themselves from their own redundant practice of benign neglect to black folks, while steadily sinking the economy. And then going to turn around and say, well, man, you see, black folks, it's them foundational black American, them freedmen, even ADOS, them ADOS folks, man, all them people over there talking about they descendants of slaves. That's causing all of this issues in Russia. That's causing all of this billions of dollars America paying for. Man, y'all need to do something about them black folks over there. They playing the ape role. Oh, word? They're chimping out, huh? Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, be on alert, family. Like, this is a propaganda war, a proxy war. You are literally living World War III. It's just not it's a different type of war. And now it will obviously manifest in physical, I'm sure, down the road as all of these countries fall out with each other. You got missiles being tested every other day in North Korea. All these other people who are becoming powers. Better be mindful of that, because we don't get a lot of international conflict news in the American media. So, truth be told, like some of the stuff I told y'all today, and, y'all ain't hearing much of that. That ain't here on mainstream news. As far as I can say, I'm the second person that's reported on the Russian dude, Torian Rain being the first, as far as I know. Now, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I'm the second. And that story ain't easy to find. There's only like 3 articles about that. Because they're trying to keep that way low. And none of the mainstream media has touched it at all. But now you can thank New Black Media because we did. So again, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Patreon, and you might want to hurry up and do that. That is beatzillapdx official, and on Melanated People at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore, and on 6 Zeros. Yep, 6 Zeros the app, as you saw in the new commercial this morning, or in this early in the broadcast. That yes, the app is on. It's on Apple, the iOS, and it's on Android. So you can go to your Google Play Store and your Apple, whatever. Miriam R. Hey, sister, I see you in the house. Hey. T. Clay. All right. Melody, I see you. Oh, Tony Muhammad. Oh, yeah. Yes. Then people went, man, that brother went out there. Was it Tyrone Muhammad? And those brothers out there, they went out there and shut down that, Tony Muhammad. They went down there and shut that joint down. And then the next thing you know, you got them sisters going, get away from the window, get away from the window. And they right back up in there. Damn shame. But it is what it is. But again, Also, family, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you can definitely do that at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. That is CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal. That is Zilla Muzak at PayPal. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So with that being said, I think we are about ready to go. So yeah, if I do something before the weekend on Patreon, check my community tab. I will announce it there. But yeah, I would advise y'all to go get on my Patreon. The last Friday's video that I've done, because they chopped it up so much, I made that video public. But in the future, I'm gonna probably start changing up the format just a little bit. So the shorter broadcast might end up staying visible here, but the lives might end up going after they're done. They might go over on Patreon after we get that thing cracking the right way. So yes, indeed. With that being said, I believe we have everything at all. He said, Judah Queen said, crazy how they want protection from black men, then they don't want to come protect. They complain. I don't want to be around those types of black women. Me neither. I understand. So yes, indeed. Y'all have a blessed night. Y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. You understand what I'm saying? Because around here, we keep our smooth stones at the ready to always knock out the brains of Satan, a.k.a. the deceiver, a.k.a. the liar. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.